Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What is going on, guys? It is Daniel, and we are back here again today. Today, I just want to talk about, for those of you that don't know already, our good friend, our brother in Islam now, Bobby's Perspective, took Shahada. That was about a week ago. And for those of you that don't know, I was actually there. I witnessed this Shahada, and I got to hang out with him. I got to hang out with Sheikh Uthman, and it was a great time. It was a really cool time. And so I thought I'd just make a quick video here, just kind of giving my perspective on the whole thing. So what's kind of funny about it is that, I actually first got introduced to Islam really from Bobby's videos. Bobby was a friend of mine, has been a friend of mine for some time, years now, and we've always kind of been interested in similar things. And we were both Orthodox Christians at the same time. We both left veganism around the same time. And so when I saw that he was looking into Islam and making videos about Islam, I was like, what? Why is he doing that? And it piqued my curiosity. And so I looked into Islam. I started learning about Islam. And, 4 or 5 months later, I ended up accepting Islam. And I accepted Islam before Bobby ended up accepting Islam, which is kind of funny, or ironic. And so, yeah, I guess witnessing his Shahada, and there was Sheikh Uthman as well, because Sheikh Uthman was very, I'll say very influential for my own coming into Islam. I learned a lot from him. And the way he gave the message of Islam was unique. He was very real about it. He was I don't want to say in your face, but he was very personable. He's very personable with people. He really gets on people's level and kind of gets eye to eye with them. And I liked that. And his arguments are strong. His points are clear. And I guess being an American myself, just the way he delivered it was accessible to me. And so it was such a surreal experience, really, to witness Bobby's Shahada, because I've been waiting for that and making dua for this, praying for Brother Bobby to receive some guidance and accept Islam. And so to see that come to fruition, and then also to have Sheikh Uthman there and get to talk with him, it was so amazing. It was really cool. And I'm very glad, alhamdulillah, this ended up happening. And it's funny how it sort of transpired is I just messaged Bobby one night just to say, hey, what's up? How are you? How are things going? And he said, yeah, well, next week, actually, Sheikh Uthman's coming down here to Bangkok. And for those of you that don't know, I also live in Thailand. Yeah, it's about a day trip for me to get to Bangkok, but not too far away. And he said, yeah, Sheikh Uthman's going to be here in Bangkok, and I'm going to take Shahada, inshallah. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. That's cool. And then I thought, well, I was going to be out of town anyway. I was going on a fishing trip with family that weekend, and he was going to be there on a Monday. So I thought, well, what if I do the fishing trip on the weekend, and then we're already out of town, so I just keep the travel going and head up to Bangkok. So I did. I told him, hey, Bobby, I think I'm going to head up there. He said, yeah, for sure. Come on down. So, yeah, it was really amazing. It was really cool to see Sheikh Uthman and talk with him. He didn't have much time, but I got to briefly tell him, my story and express my gratitude to him for his dawah, and just really hang out with him too. That was the cool thing, is that Sheikh Uthman, me and my dad talked to Sheikh Uthman about guns and just normal dude stuff for some time. He's just a normal guy. He's a really down to earth guy. And so I also got to bring my dad there. My dad is not a Muslim, but I say inshallah on that one. He's not too far away. I really don't think he's too far away. Just takes a few more dot connections. Anyway, it was a great experience, and I will put some footage intermittently throughout the video of that, which I have, of the trip. And otherwise we ended up meeting with Bobby and I and one of Bobby's subscribers, Sheikh Uthman, and my father and my wife as well. Ended up going to two Thai Muslims restaurant, and these two Thai Muslims, Bang To is one of them. Bang To used to be a very popular, very famous musician in Thailand, and this was actually a very cool experience for me to meet him. And I when I saw him, I'm like, this guy looks familiar. My wife is Thai. She also said the same. This guy looks familiar. And yeah, it turns out he used to be very, very famous. And sort of at the peak of his career, really, he left music altogether to be a good Muslim, to be a better Muslim. He wanted to leave the music industry, and all that comes with it, with the alcohol advertising and all of that kind of stuff, the whole racket. He left it all. He left it all. He told me this story. He had a big show at a festival, and he canceled the whole thing because he already told them that he didn't want any alcohol advertising, and they put it anyway. And he said, "I'm not doing it." It's a big deal, a big deal. He just walked away from, and that was interesting for me personally because I also have left music. I'd say, like, I have I still haven't taken the link down, but you can actually find on my YouTube channel. There's a SoundCloud, and when I was 18, 19, I produced music basically full time. I was producing like instrumental music, and I got very deep into it, and I was also, using psychedelics and this kind of stuff to what I thought would enhance my music. I'm not sure if it really did or not. Anyway, I've been musical since I was a young kid. I started playing guitar when I was 8 years old. I started taking guitar lessons. I taught myself how to play piano when I was pretty young, and I started singing as a young teenager. And so yeah, I've always been musically inclined. And then I've really just sort of left it altogether. I've stopped listening to music, whereas before I would listen to music all the time. I've just left it all. And so to hear his story that, for me, it's just a hobby really that I had, and I left the hobby. For him, it was his living. It was his provision. He was making money from this, and that was his life. He left it all. It's not only about just something he liked to do, like in my case. He was big. He already succeeded. For those of you that don't know, to take a talent in music and actually succeed with it and become a professional musician, it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. It's not only about having good music, it's about good marketing, and you have to hit the culture at the right time, and it's not easy. It's not easy. And for him to have done that and then just say, you know what, this isn't good for me. This isn't good for my soul. I'm going to leave all of this. It's amazing. It's actually amazing. And now he has a restaurant that he runs with his other friend, Pitan, right? Pitan. And so those two guys, they run a restaurant. We ended up going to their restaurant, and it was really good. It was called Beef Master. It is called Beef Master, and they have a whole chain in Bangkok. They have one at Suvarnabhumi Airport, which is the biggest airport in Thailand. They have a couple other restaurants spread out through the city, and it was really good. We had burgers and wraps, and yeah, Bobby was there, Uthman was there, my dad was there, my wife was there. Everyone was there. We just hanging out and eating, talking about whatever. And then that's where y'all might have seen that clip on Bobby's channel about the Uthman breaking down the Hadith sciences. That's where that was. And Uthman actually took a video of me sort of telling my story very briefly for a YouTube short. And so inshallah, that will be posted soon. Yeah, so those two guys, I just want to mention, those two guys have a Dawah channel, Dawah page. And I can't remember what it's called, but I will find it after the fact and I'll link it. So they're Thai. They give Dawah in Thai to Thai people. If any of you know any Thai people that are perhaps interested in Islam, you could share that with them. I think it's a good resource. A good resource, rather. They're pretty knowledgeable, and they're very personable. And yeah, it was crazy walking through the airport with Bang Tho, because he was so famous that literally Thai people all over the place were pointing at him and like, oh my gosh, it's Bang Tho, and asking, people coming up, taking pictures with them, asking for pictures. It was a pretty surreal experience. The whole day was surreal. Getting to pray the noon prayer. I always forget how to say that. It's like, I hear some people pronounce it zuhur, some people pronounce it dur. I don't know how to pronounce it anyway. The midday prayer, you got to pray that with Bobby and Uthman at the Islamic Center. I forgot what it's called. The Foundation for the Islamic Council of Thailand. I think that's what it is. There in Bangkok, and praying with them, and then get to hang out. And it was just a really amazing experience. And alhamdulillah, very, very blessed to have been able to be there. So yeah, that was my perspective of the whole thing. It's amazing. Bobby ended up taking Shahada, and sort of talking with him about, I remember asking him, like, he already did it. And I asked him, Bobby, how do you feel now? Because I remember when I took it, I honestly didn't really feel that different. I feel like I already made the connection in my heart that I accepted Islam. It was just a matter of going to the mosque and saying it out loud in front of other people. And, but I do remember feeling like very happy, and I felt like accepted into the brotherhood that, I took Shahada, and then everyone like was hugging me. Like, I got so many hugs there. It's crazy. So I asked him, I said, Bobby, how do you feel? And he said it just felt like a massive weight off of his shoulders. He got something off his chest. And I think that's probably because Bobby did delay it so much. He really was already a Muslim for, I think, a few months. Really a few months. If you watch his videos, all of you know, you go watch his videos. The way he would react to the Islamic content and stuff, you could tell he already accepted it. It was just, he had dunya blockages. He had some dunya blockages that he had to hurdles he had to get over in order to take that final step of the Shahada. So, I think it was a great experience for him, and he said he didn't get much sleep the night before. Like, it was a big deal for him. It really was a big deal for him. So that was great to see, and also got to meet his family. Alhamdulillah. It was a really great trip. So yeah, brothers and sisters, that's just story time. I guess I wanted to share with you guys my perspective on that whole ordeal there. And I ain't got anything else to say. So inshallah, we will see you in the next one, and may Allah bless you generously for watching. Masalama.